The Bible told farmers exactly how to water their gardens, and the instruction was this: don't. Not because the crops didn't need water, because God had already solved the water problem before the first seed went into the ground, and the farmers who followed that instruction grew wine grapes in the desert, olive trees on bare hillsides, and grain fields that fed entire cities for 2,000 years straight. Without a hose, without a sprinkler, without a water bill, we stopped following the instruction, and now we pay for it every single summer. Deuteronomy 11 verse 10. God is speaking to Israel before they enter the promised land. He says this: "The land you are entering to take over is not like Egypt, from which you have come, where you planted your seed and irrigated it by foot, as in a vegetable garden." Egypt irrigated. Egypt pumped. Egypt worked every single day to move water from the Nile to the crops. And God said, "Where you are going, you will not do that." Verse 11, "But the land you are crossing the Jordan to take possession of is a land of mountains and valleys that drinks water from the rain of heaven." Rain from heaven, not canals, not hoses, not irrigation systems on timers. The land was designed to drink from above, and the farmers who understood that design built systems so efficient they could grow crops in one of the driest regions on Earth. Modern archaeology has now confirmed what God described. In the Negev desert, where annual rainfall reaches only 4 inches per year, researchers have documented over 150,000 ancient farm units still visible today. Stone terrace walls, channels cut into hill slopes, systems that collected every drop of winter rain and directed it deep into the soil where roots could find it for months. These systems fed communities of 3,000 people for 2,500 years. With no irrigation, the average American suburb receives over 30 inches of rain per year, and we still run the sprinklers every morning. At minute 9, I will show you the specific thing biblical farmers built into their soil that made watering unnecessary, and why modern gardeners have been destroying this same thing every season without knowing it. At minute 11, I will name the one modern watering habit that the EPA has confirmed wastes up to 50% of all the water you use, while simultaneously training your plants to die without you. And by minute 13, the complete 3-part system straight from Scripture that any backyard gardener can build this week with materials they already own. Let's start with what the Bible actually said about the ground. Deuteronomy 11 doesn't just tell Israel how rain works. It tells them something specific about the land itself. Verse 12. "It is a land the Lord your God cares for. The eyes of the Lord your God are continually on it from the beginning of the year to its end." The land is cared for, not by the farmer, by God. The farmer's job is not to fight the land or force it into production. The farmer's job is to work with a system that was already built to produce. That distinction changes everything about how you garden. Walk through the Judean hill country in October. The harvest is done. The air smells like dry stone and wild herbs. A farmer kneels at the edge of his terrace and lays a thick cover of cut straw over the bare soil. He does this slowly, deliberately. He covers every inch. No bare ground left, not one patch. He is not doing chores. He is following an instruction his father gave him, that his father's father gave him, that stretches back through 2,000 years of farming this same hillside. When winter rain comes, 3 months later, it hits that straw. It slows down. It doesn't run off. It soaks in, and it stays. Locked under that covering of organic material, protected from the sun, protected from the wind, that water sits in the soil for weeks, months, long past the last rain of winter, into the dry heat of summer. The plants find it. The roots follow it down, 8, 10, 12 inches deep. The farmer doesn't water in summer. The ground does. This is the principle. Give it a name you'll remember: the covered ground system. The mechanism is simple. Bare soil loses 2 to 4 millimeters of water per day through evaporation, every day gone into the air before a single root can touch it. A 3-inch layer of organic material on the surface stops that evaporation by 50 to 70%. That is not a modern discovery. That is what the straw was for. Modern gardeners do the opposite. They leave ground bare, They till every season, exposing fresh soil to sun and wind. They water the surface every morning. Most of it evaporates before noon, and they wonder why the garden needs so much water. The ground is not asking for more water. The ground is asking for a cover. Go outside right now and do this test. Find 2 areas in your garden, one with bare, exposed soil, one with any kind of covering, mulch, leaves, straw, even thick plant growth. Push your finger 2 inches down into each spot. The covered area will feel measurably cooler. If it has rained in the past week, the covered area will still feel moist. The bare area will feel dry and warm. Even if the rain fell just 3 days ago, that difference is everything. The covered soil held the water God already sent. The bare soil lost it. Tier 1 starts today. Cover every inch of bare soil in your garden. Use whatever you have: dry leaves, grass clippings, straw from a bale, wood chips from a tree service. Lay it 3 to 4 inches thick. Do not leave any bare ground visible. This takes 45 minutes for a standard garden bed. You do it once per season, and from that moment on, your soil holds every raindrop that falls, instead of losing it to the sky. In 3 days, push your finger back into that covered bed. You will feel the difference yourself, but covering the ground only solves half the problem. The second half is where most gardeners lose everything, and the Bible addressed it directly. If covering the ground captures water, the second principle is about where that water needs to go. And this is where modern watering habits cause damage that takes years to undo. Proverbs 12, verse 11. Whoever works his land will have plenty of bread. The Hebrew word for works here, abad, also means to serve, to tend, to care for, with purpose. The biblical farmer did not force the land, he served it. He understood what the land needed, and one of the things it needed was to be forced to search. In the Negev, ancient farmers deliberately withheld surface water. They built terrace walls that slowed and directed rain, but they never gave shallow water to shallow roots. The water soaked deep, 12, 18 inches down. The roots followed it. Plants that reached that deep moisture were not vulnerable to summer drought. They were drawing from a reservoir the sun could not touch. Modern irrigation does the opposite. A University of Nebraska extension study confirmed this directly. Frequent shallow irrigation results in shallow root systems, one of the most common causes of plant death in home gardens. When you water a little every day, the plant learns that moisture is always available at the surface. Roots stay near the top, 3 inches down, maybe 5. When a dry week hits, those plants collapse. You have trained your garden to need you every single day. The Negev farmers trained their plants to search. That training is still visible. In root systems, archaeologists have excavated from 2,000-year-old cultivated terraces, roots that reach down through compacted stone into deep soil reservoirs, plants built to survive without human intervention. Isaiah 58, verse 11. The Lord will guide you always. He will satisfy your needs in a sun-scorched land and will strengthen your frame. You will be like a well-watered garden, like a spring whose waters never fail. A spring whose waters never fail. Not a garden where someone runs the sprinkler every morning, a garden with its own water source, built in, self-sufficient. That is not poetry. That is root architecture. Go to your garden and do this now. Take a standard screwdriver, the kind in your junk drawer. Go to your most watered bed. Push the screwdriver straight down into the soil with moderate hand pressure. Count the inches before it stops. If it stops before 6 inches, your soil is compacted and dry below the surface. Even if you watered this morning, the water never went deep. If it slides down 8 to 10 inches without resistance, your soil has deep moisture and good structure. Most gardeners will find it stops at 4 inches or less. That is where the water went, and that is where the roots are. Tier 2. Stop watering every day. Switch to 1 deep watering per week and water until the screwdriver slides 8 inches without resistance. Then stop. Do not water again until the screwdriver meets resistance at 6 inches or above. That is your only trigger, not the calendar, not a timer. The soil tells you. This one change, from daily shallow to weekly deep, begins training roots to grow down instead of sideways. In 2 weeks, you will see stronger stems, darker leaf color, plants that do not wilt on hot afternoons because they are pulling from deep moisture instead of depending on surface water you provide. At minute 1, I told you about the specific thing biblical farmers built into their soil that made watering unnecessary. Here is exactly what it is. They built deep moisture storage through covering the ground, Tier 1, and through training deep roots, Tier 2. They created a soil system that held winter rain in a layer deep enough that summer heat could not reach it. The straw locked moisture in from above. The roots accessed it from below. The farmer became unnecessary to the water cycle. That is not farming mastery. That is following the design. Deuteronomy 11 told them the land would drink from heaven. They built a system to make sure every drop heaven sent was caught, stored, and used. Here is the number the EPA released, and nobody put on a fertilizer bag. Up to 50% of all water used for residential outdoor irrigation is wasted, lost to evaporation, blown by wind, running off bare compacted soil into the street. That is not an estimate. That is an EPA water sense measurement. Americans use 9 billion gallons per day on outdoor irrigation. 4.5 billion gallons a day, gone, before it touches a single root. And here is what that daily surface watering is doing to your plants while you watch. When you water the surface every day, you are not just wasting water. You are making a decision about root architecture. Roots follow moisture, always. If moisture is always at the surface, roots stay at the surface. By the third season of daily shallow watering, a tomato plant that should have roots 12 inches deep has roots at 4 inches. It is completely dependent on you. Miss 1 week in August and the plant is dead. This is the trap. The habit feels responsible. Daily watering looks like attentive gardening, but the Bible's instruction was the opposite. Let the land develop its own capacity to drink. Build the soil that holds rain. Train the roots that find it. The Amish farming communities in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania understand this at a level most modern gardeners have never considered. Researchers documented Amish farmland during back-to-back extreme drought and flood events in 2023 and 2024, events that destroyed neighboring conventional crops. The Amish fields survived both. During drought, the organic matter in their soil held moisture like a sponge, releasing it slowly to deep roots. During flood, the biological structure of their soil drained excess water through natural channels, while neighboring compacted fields flooded. The same soil that held water in drought drained it in flood, because it was alive, because it had depth, because no one had stripped it bare every season. Now go do this. Take a trowel and dig down 6 inches in your most watered garden bed. Pull out a full shovelful and look at it carefully. Count the earthworms in that shovelful. In biblically managed soil, covered, deep watered, never stripped bare, you will find 10 or more earthworms per cubic foot. Worm castings contain 7 times the plant available nutrients of surrounding soil. Every worm in that handful is a tiny irrigation and fertilization system working for free. If you find fewer than 3 worms, your soil biology is low. If you find 0, the combination of bare soil, surface evaporation, and daily shallow watering has depleted the living system that makes deep moisture retention possible. This is Tier 3, and it completes the system. After every single harvest, every time you pull a plant from the ground, add 2 inches of finished compost to that bed before you cover it with mulch. Not synthetic fertilizer, compost. Dark, crumbly, earthy-smelling material broken down from kitchen scraps and dry leaves. That compost feeds the earthworms. The earthworms build channels deep into the soil. Those channels carry rain down 12, 18 inches into the reservoir where summer heat cannot reach. This is the complete system. Tier 1, cover the ground. Tier 2, water deep and infrequent. Tier 3, feed the soil biology with compost after every harvest. These 3 practices, running together every season, build the self-watering garden the Bible described. Leviticus 25 commanded a year of rest for the land every 7 years, not because the farmer was tired, because the land needed time to rebuild the biological systems that made it productive. God built a maintenance cycle into the agricultural law: rest, recover, rebuild. The land that followed that cycle produced for generations, the land that didn't wore out. At minute 3, I told you the modern watering habit that wastes 50% of all outdoor water while training plants to die without you. Here is the full picture. Daily surface irrigation is not a neutral habit. It actively reshapes root architecture over multiple seasons. It keeps moisture at the surface where it evaporates. It compacts soil through repeated surface application on unprotected ground. It promotes the growth of shallow fungal pathogens, Phytophthora, Pythium, root rot, that thrive in wet surface soil and oxygen-depleted conditions. And it creates a dependency loop. Shallow roots need water. You provide water. Roots stay shallow. You cannot stop providing water. The biblical farmers broke that loop by never entering it. They covered the ground before the roots had a chance to stay shallow. They watered deep once and let the roots follow. They fed the biology that built the channels the roots used. At minute 6, I told you there is a biblical principle behind why this works. Something agronomists are only now confirming with lab data. Here it is. Genesis 2, verse 5 and 6. Now no shrub had yet appeared on the earth, and no plant had yet sprung up. For the Lord God had not sent rain on the earth, and there was no one to work the ground, but streams came up from the earth and watered the whole surface of the ground. Before rain, before irrigation, the water came from within the ground itself. That is not mythology. That is a description of a functioning soil system, one where biological activity, organic matter, and deep root channels create their own internal moisture cycle. Modern soil science has a name for it: soil water potential. Healthy soil with high organic matter and active biology creates internal water movement through capillary action. Moisture from deep in the soil moves upward toward roots. The soil waters itself. The biblical farmers who covered their ground, trained deep roots, and fed the biology were building exactly this: a garden that watered itself from within, a spring whose waters never fail, not metaphor, but mechanism. 3 warnings. If you switch from daily watering to weekly overnight, some plants will wilt for 2 to 3 days before their roots adjust. Do not panic. Do not go back to daily watering. Water deeply once and wait. The wilt passes as roots grow downward. If your compost smells like sewage or ammonia when you apply it, it is not finished. Stop. Unfinished compost pulls nitrogen away from plant roots while it continues breaking down. Wait until it smells like forest earth. And never apply mulch directly against plant stems. Leave a 2-inch gap. Mulch piled against stems holds moisture against the crown and invites the exact rot you are trying to prevent. The modern approach: water every day, leave soil bare, buy irrigation systems and timers, watch plants develop shallow roots that collapse in drought and rot in rain. Average household, 320 gallons of outdoor water per day in summer. Half of it gone before it reaches a root. The biblical approach: cover the ground, water deep and infrequent, feed the biology with compost. Cost: 1 straw bale, $8 to $12, 1 bag of compost, or a free pile from your kitchen scraps, 1 screwdriver test before every watering. Result: a garden that drinks from the rain God already sends, and holds it through every dry week of summer without panic. Deuteronomy said the land drinks from the rain of heaven. The farmer's job is to make sure it can. If this is the kind of proven, scripture-grounded system you have been looking for, subscribe to Biblical Harvest. Drop your soil type in the comments below: sandy, clay, or dark and loamy, and tell me how long you have been gardening. I read every one. Send this to someone who runs their sprinklers every morning and still loses plants every August. They are working harder than they need to, and the answer has been in the Bible the whole time. That farmer in the Negev desert, building stone terraces in land that gets 4 inches of rain per year, growing wine grapes that supplied the Roman Empire, feeding a city of 3,000 people from hillsides of bare rock. He was not working miracles. He was following an instruction that told him the land would drink from heaven, that told him to cover it, to train it, to feed the biology underneath it. That told him his job was not to fight the water problem, but to build a system that made the water problem irrelevant. 30 inches of rain fall on the average American backyard every year. The only question is whether your ground is ready to catch it. Build the cover, train the roots, feed the ground, let heaven do the rest.